Very excited to talk to this man. I've been singing his praises on the program and talking all about, obviously, the work that he and his son are doing. On Friday, we got some pretty big news regarding their next step, April 20th. It's going to be Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney. Kind enough to be joined right now by Devin's father, trainer, manager, the great Bill Haney is here. Hello, Bill. How are you?
Hey, hello, brother. How are you, Ariel?
My
Thank you, man.
man.
It's an honor. It's an honor, pleasure, and privilege to be on your show today, man. Thank you, brother. Keep cooking. You're doing a wonderful job.
Wow, this means a lot to me. I didn't even know if you knew who I was. I'm a big fan of yours and your son's, and I appreciate those words very much.
Absolutely. Listen, you're doing a tremendous job with pushing our sport forward. I'm very conscientious of who you are, and thank you. You're doing a tremendous job.
Did you wear a suit just to be on my show today?
Hey, man, listen. When I come over here for the first time, I had to come right. And listen, we got the big announcement.
That's right.
We got the fight. We got Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, and the ultimate grudge match. Not only just a grudge match, but the rubber match, because they're notoriously have been 3-3 as an amateur and the amateurs, but now it's the pros. It's going to be decided on 420. Ariel, it's smoke. It's real smoke.
Okay, I love everything about what you just said, and I want to ask you about the past in a moment. But first, can I ask you about getting this fight done? How difficult was it to get it done with Golden Boy, who I presume was involved because of the fact that they are Ryan's promoters, although we know there's some issues between Ryan and Oscar De La Hoya with all the politics involved there. How difficult was it to get this done?
Hey, let's push all the politics to the side and know that Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya has been a pillar in the community representing boxing, representing the big events. So we have to push all egos, all pride to the side. Promoters now are working together. I think that we've been working with everyone. We've worked with the legendary Bob Arum himself. We've had a long relationship with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Early on was Showbox and Showtime. So it was only right to come to Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy himself, and tell him, listen, you got Bill, you got Devin, you have Ryan, you got Henry. Let's make this thing happen. We'd be fools not to right now.
Okay, and so are you guys still in a sort of business relationship with Matchroom, or did you do this completely on your own?
Listen, no one is going to let us leave our fond memories that we have with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Even if we told you that we were just with Oscar, someone would say, but you're still with Eddie. So listen, it's almost like we've had a love affair with Eddie. We've also entered into different marriages with Bob and now with Oscar. What can I say, man? Listen, if we're all eating and we're all doing good, let's make these fights happen. So to answer your question about Eddie, he's still around, he's still there, and he's been there for us.
Was he a part of the negotiation as well?
No, I did this. I made this happen. You know what I mean? Obviously, with the relationship between Eddie and actual Oscar, it might be a wedge between them that I always pointed out. I said, listen, Devin is who Devin is because when it comes down to it, we want to be able to make those fights happen. We don't want to let past relationships stop Devin being able to make the fight happen. So I went to that infamous meeting over there at Virgil Ortiz fight where I got a little bit of resistance from Bernard Hopkins, but I was able to weave my way in and get Oscar De La Hoya to take a listen. And he said, you know what, Bill? Let's go to work on it. And we worked on it. And hey, Oscar said yes to everything. So he's the lead promoter on it. And so far he's doing a good job. He's put pen to paper for things for both of the guys that's advantageous for this fight to happen. So let's get going.
Okay, and one last question on all this because I'm so fascinated by it. Have you entered into sort of any kind of long-term deal with Golden Boy, or is this just for this one fight?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
We are Devin Haney and Devin Haney Promotions. I'm Bill Haney. I got the best fighter in the world, and both the business inside and outside is going to reflect it. I said that he's the face of boxing because the way that he's making fights, the way that Ariel, you have got a chance to see us, born right here on YouTube in the digital community. We got a little bit of resistance early on because they said it was all about linear television. But Devin, as the entrepreneur he is, he believed in himself. He believed in this telephone right now being the new information highway, the new way of entertainment. He stood on it, Ariel. For those reasons, he's a real boss.
I love it. I love everything that you guys do because it seems like consistently you always say, okay, what's the biggest fight? What's the toughest test? Let's go for that one. And you've done that consistently with the deal with Top Rank, prior to that Matchroom, coming back and fighting Regis, and now this fight. Could I ask, though, was this the top choice after Regis, or would you have preferred someone else? There was obviously the talk of Tank. Did you have a top choice that fell through and thus you looked at Ryan?
Well, I love the way, Ariel, you're pushing pieces. You know, you're pushing pieces without saying you're pushing pieces. And one of the main pieces that they said that we weren't able to push was for a big fight. They said that we would be blocked out. They said that the belts didn't matter, but he's not in the big fight. So we went and got the belts. We did the hometown performance where everyone came out in the Bay Area, from the Bay Area, and supported Devin. So we checked that one off the box. I think this was one of the big pieces and big components on the chessboard of being the face of boxing, the face for the millennials, the person that's carrying boxing into the 20th century.
Did it ever get close with Tank?
Well, it got close enough that His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh,
yes,
came on board to dispel any narrative that money would be a problem, because the brothers over there were willing to make it happen and to kill any narratives. So with that saying, it came that close. But of course, I think you heard that Tank suggested that he be given or sent a couple Ferraris.
Yes.
You know, I didn't want to get in the way because I didn't want him to offend His Excellency. So I asked, what color would you want, right? But before I could get a reply back, Turki Al-Sheikh himself said that he would only be sending gloves to Tank Davis' team. And I think negotiation and talks fell off after that. But, you know, shout out to His Excellency himself, because he's doing the job that I ultimately have been doing for the last 3, 4, 5 years, is trying to make that fight happen because the people want to see it.
Why do you think that you guys are, it feels to me like you're so different than everyone else in boxing, where you're not trying to get into long-term deals, you have no problem working with all kinds of different promoters, when everyone else is offering up roadblocks as to why these fights can't happen? You guys are doing everything in your power and defying old school boxing politics in order to make these fights happen, going from different platform to different platform. Why do you guys march to a different beat than everyone else, it seems?
Well, I don't know if this is just a different beat, but we believe in God. We believe in Allah. And we don't believe in a crystal ball. So I'm not able to predict, nor can someone predict to us. And if you can predict, would you over project or would you under project? You know, and then I think that's where the difficulty when you talk about long-term agreements. When you talk about something short-term and we can get to it and it makes sense, I'm all for it. But when you talk about let's look in the crystal ball and let's predict a future that's unpredictable, while you see Devin climb into the top fast with the trajectory of an all-time great. So why would we take a paper that's less than that? So when you talk about the actual negotiations and stuff like that, you have to have a belief in your partner that he believes that he's an all-time great, and you'll put a paper on it that's reflective. If not, if you still want the trial run, we'll keep coming with these one and dones.
What do you make of Ryan at this point? I see you guys going back and forth. I saw the little fracas in Vegas on...
listen. Oh, Ariel, listen. By all means, you know what I make of him? He is on high alert right now. I know, listen, what he should have did was he should have kept all that energy to himself, right? But he came in fired up, and he has a reason to be fired up because he has no hydration issues. He has no, restrictions with the weight restrictions. So he's going to be healthy and hungry. And I know a healthy, hungry, dangerous fighter. A healthy, hungry fighter makes for a dangerous fighter. He has no other than Derek James, a number one trainer of the year. Mm-hmm. And hopefully he's a Hall of Fame trainer. I want to wish him all the best in that. But I know it's a very skilled corner over there. You know, so he has a lot to be confident about, right? And he threw us off. I'm going to tell you, he threw us off when he walked in, because I'm normally used to seeing, Ryan, more cool, calm, and collective. But he came in there like Fonzie from Happy Days, and he was all business, right? You remember that? See,
Yeah, of
Happy Days.
course.
He came on there. Guess what, Ariel? And he had that black leather coat on with that black T-shirt. He was all business like the Fonz. You dig?
Yes.
So when I say take him serious, you know how you got to take the Fonz serious when the Fonz come on. But I don't know if it's the leather coat or as his new approach and his new confidence. But he's on alert. I'm watching him.
Did he cross the line? He had some things to say about you. Do you feel like he made this personal?
No, by no means. What he says to me will not help him on 420 when he enters into that square circle. He will pay for it, Ariel. He will pay for it. Sticks and stones.
I love it. By the way, speaking of 420, where specifically will this fight take place? Which venue?
I don't know. But listen, it's going to be a place it's going to be a massacre. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be the site of a massacre because that's what Devin is going to do. And you, like I say, you only add fuel to the fire when you reiterate things that he's saying about Devin's old man. You know that Devin is not going to take that.
I know.
I point him out and he goes and gets him, Ariel.
And by the way, I say this with the utmost respect because I have a tremendous amount of respect for you and the way you conduct business. And I hope you understand, I don't believe that you don't know where the fight is taking place, just for the record. I understand you can't tell me, but I don't believe, I think you know. You just, for whatever reason, don't want to say it. Is that accurate?
No. Honestly, right now, like I said, I'm coming on here for the first time. I got to give it to you real. I can't hold anything back. Maybe the second time I would have reserved the right to not tell you about the venue. But today, I don't know. And although that's not my job, of course, to announce it for the first time, but I would have told you, that I know, but I'm not able to announce. Right now, I don't.
Is Vegas?
I know that the press conference, it's going to be in Vegas.
Okay.
For all intent purposes, I've heard that it's going to be in Vegas. We just don't know which venue.
You were going to say something about a press conference. Are they going to be face-to-face soon?
I know that it's a press conference. Yeah, it's going to be a press conference. It's coming up next week, and that'll be announced. I know that I'm getting ready to travel for that, so I know that that's for certain.
Okay.
A couple cities, New York, LA, and I believe Vegas.
Okay. Do you like Devin at 140? Is this the best weight for him, or is this just a pit stop en route to 147?
You know what? He was very healthy. You know what I mean? The speed was there. The timing was there. Of course, we like that a whole lot better than 135. It took a minute to cement our legacy in 135, so we're just happy. He's a healthy, happy fighter right now.
Do you think in the future, though, in the near future, we'll see him at 47?
Oh, absolutely. He's growing. You might even see him at maybe 54 later on in his career.
Wow. When do you want him to stop fighting? He's so young, but he's been doing this for a very long time. In your mind, you have an age as to when you want him to stop so that the game doesn't beat him. You guys beat the game, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, fortunately for him, he's been dedicated enough and a craft that he's the boss, right? Devin Haney Promotions is him. And ultimately, my goal, as a coach and trainer and manager was to get him a life-changing payday. You can't, there's not 2 life-changing paydays, 3 once you get 1 life-changing payday, it's up to you to do that, right, Ariel? And you to decide, okay, how long that you're going to fight. I would be doing him a disservice, and I wouldn't be his best friend if that depended on me. I'm just listening to him. I'm a soundboard for him. But we're running our way to the Mount Rushmore of boxing right now. His face being one of those faces. I don't know which face he's going to replace or which face he joins, but that's what we set out to do. And I don't think money, is a bearing on that.
Are you the kind of person? And I'll let you go in a minute, Bill. I understand you're in the car, and so I don't want to keep you away from your day for too long.
No, we're cool.
Okay,
we're cool.
Cool. I really appreciate it. It's great talking to you. I love your insight. Are you allowing yourself at this stage to smell the roses? Your story is one of redemption. You have rebuilt your life. You had some hard times as a kid, I understand, and you are the American dream in many respects, and you were living the American dream and the embodiment of it, and now you have taken your son to this place where a lot of people didn't agree with the route that you guys were taking or the path you were taking, and now it's all working out. Are you the kind of person that allows yourself to smell the rose and say, like, man, look at what me and my son are doing right now. We're changing the game. We're putting everyone on notice. Or are you so focused and business oriented where you don't allow yourself to enjoy these little milestones that you guys are achieving?
No, every time that a kid or a dad walks up and say, you know what, your story has inspired us to work harder together, that's the roses right there. Any of the real ones saying, you know what, if I would have done different, so maybe I'm going to try a different approach with my grandkids, so on and so forth. Like I'm constantly smelling roses, but it's through the people that I'm up around every day, brother. And I appreciate my job, tremendously, working for my son.
Has he exceeded your expectations as to what you thought he could become when he was a youngster, when you got him into boxing all those years ago?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you said that he's one of the best that ever put on a pair of gloves, because that's our expectation, that's what our drive right there is, to one day sit down with the grandbabies and his kids and everything and say, that Devin Haney is one of the best that ever put on a pair of gloves.
What did you think was going to happen when you got him into boxing? Like, what was your ultimate goal when you introduced him to boxing as a youngster?
Well, I was trying to get him knocked off, Ariel. You didn't know the story? He was acting up in school. And I thought, because we were playing football, that once he went to the gym and there was another kid over there, that he would have more respect, for his willingness to fight. And the total opposite happened. I found out that he was a natural, and he had something that was special that was only given from God. So that became part of my story as well, is that how many other fathers have kids that are being misdescribed as being, badasses with no future, and might be the next Devin Haneys, might be the next Sugar Rays, might be the next Floyd Mayweathers, Mike Tysons, so I was amazed. And it changed my life and my family's life forever. Just that one trip to the boxing gym.
Wow. What is your dream fight for him? What's the fight before it's all said and done that you'd love to see him in?
Like a dream fight, I don't necessarily have a dream fight. I think a dream situation is when everyone comes out, and they're cheering and they're going against him, and you know what I mean, and he prevails. To see that and to see that moment where they doubted him, but he prevailed, probably would be a dream situation, because we believe so much in him. But an actual person in there, you put the face on him, we gonna handle our business.
Crawford, Tank, Canelo, a guy like that? No one comes to mind as number one?
Well, I mean, the ultimate grudge match is Tank himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Tank, that fight, that's the ultimate grudge match that I don't see them being really quick to take. I know that, you guys and the leading professionals in the industry have now started to say, okay, well, what's the problem then? And I love it. I love, because now we can get down to the bottom of it. They're running out of excuses about the money and the popularity and all these other things. And I told them, I said, listen, you got to deal with him now, or you're going to deal with him later. And look, my suits are getting more nicer. Yeah. I'm smiling more better, and I don't look like I'm going nowhere. All because of Devin the Dream Haney.
And why don't you think they want it?
Did you see his jab? He has the best jab in the business, right? Yeah. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
They say he has the best jab. So that's his left hand. His right hand had the knockout of the year with Antonio Moran. So you got to expect it over there on that side. He goes inside and outside, right? Which means he can be on the outside, or he can work on the inside. You just seen the body work that he put on Lomachenko on the biggest stage in front of the most people and the most critics. So when you talk about from a skill set, who all is doing that same thing, Ariel? I mean, just tell me one person.
No, I think I was saying before the first Kambosos fight and then the second Kambosos fight, he needs to be in the pound for pound discussion when no one was saying he was in the pound for pound. And now all of a sudden, I think he should be top 5 and maybe even in the top 3. Like what he's done is incredible. That performance against Regis Prograis was a systematic beatdown. I mean, that was like a master class. So credit to you and him for doing that. Speaking of last performances, can I ask you about Ryan Garcia's last performance? He was very much criticized for that performance, but there was a lot going on. First fight with Derek James, coming off the loss, his first loss to Tank Davis. What was your assessment of his performance?
Shit, he got the job done, and he got it did with one of those vicious left hooks. It's almost like either you're going to beat him up or you're going to get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? And that's all the drama built up in a Devin Haney fight. Either you're going to knock him out or you're going to beat you up. So it's like, which one do you want to pick? Because if we picked a person that it was going to be that we had to knock out, they might not like it. So I said, well, why don't you, every time we get in there, you pick that person. And the public genuinely always picks someone that they want to knock Devin out. So Ryan Garcia, I'm sure, is coming to do that.
You mentioned that they fought 6 times before, right? They're 3-3.
Yes.
As far as amateurs, what could you tell us about
I'm
those
not happy
matchups?
to say that. I'm not happy. I'm not happy to say 3-3, but yes, it was 3-3.
And how
with us winning the last ones, we won the last ones.
how hotly contested were these matchups? What do you remember from them?
Vicious. I mean, everybody came around the ring, and their team, our team, both Henry Garcia, the dad. We would always share pleasantries after the fight. So it's been the ultimate grudge match. The Garcias are professionals. They've raised quite a professional in Ryan Garcia, a successful fighter. The rubber has now met the road. It's time to get it on.
I love it. And final thing, prediction, what do you think? Obviously, you know that your guy's going to win, but how about the path to victory? What are you foreseeing? What are you feeling?
Devin, victory by vicious, hellacious ass whipping.
Tremendous stuff. What a pleasure this was, Bill. Really appreciate it. Congratulations on getting the deal done. Congrats on all the success that you guys have had together. It's a pleasure to watch. And I hope to be there on April 20th. Perhaps I can see it in person myself.
Hey,
it would be a great honor.
Ain't no hope, brother. If you want to be there, listen, you're there. Front row. We need you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it. Good luck to you.
Bless you.
There he is, Bill Haney. What a great character he is, and what a great job he is doing with his son, young Devin Haney.